not money always.
But money actually removes a lot of unhappiness.
What was that driving force to carve your own story and build yourself?
I give myself a target.
How do you balance the external worldly affairs and internal spiritual affairs?
In all offices, I make sure I have time for myself with the loved ones, peace in temples and gurdwaras.
You're walking both worlds, the world of spirituality and the world of business. How you grew through all the obstacles that you faced.
I don't understand the concept of, waiting for the customer. Thing which I can do without investing much.
Right, what's the one quote that you tell yourself often?
The show must go on.
Welcome to the season 2 of Sapno Ke Canvas, where we are going to have more fun, more conversations, and a lot more to paint your canvas. So today we are going to have a story, or rather a journey of this person who started very young and who also has a lot of accolades for her name. She is a dreamer, hustler, and an entrepreneur. Her journey did not start easy, but many say that it was easy, but it did not start easy. From day one, she was a hustler. And from then on, there's no going back for her journey. So we have that one person who is going to inspire, motivate, and also make us laugh in a few bits and pieces. We have Bhavika with us, who's going to give us a lot of information on her journey, her professional space, her fun moments, also her lessons from life and her career. Welcome to Sapno Ke Canvas, where dreams, emotions, and stories come alive. We're always treated with uncertainty with life. We are always put into the crossroads of life, and in that crossroad, there are two paths. One is an easier one is a tougher one. We always tend to choose the easier one and always tend to be very afraid and fearful of the uncertainties the life throws at us. But when we take the one that's uncertain, we face adventures, many challenges, opportunities, obstacles, but the tunnel is always filled with the light. The end of the tunnel is always with light. And with such stories, we have one person who has faced these challenges, obstacles, and in the end saw the light at the end of the tunnel. And to continue further with this, we have Bhavika with us.
Hello.
How are you, Bhavika?
I am doing good. And first of all, big thanks for actually inviting me here and having me over.
It was a pleasure, Bhavika. And the first question that I'm going to ask, or rather want to ponder upon your mind, is life is not always difficult, right? Sometimes life is easy, sometimes very difficult. But life is filled with abundance and grace and a lot of opportunities for you. It was not difficult for you to carve your way out, but you chose to carve the way out for yourself. And what was the power that you felt when you built yourself?
Okay, so I didn't feel the power only when I started the business. I felt the power even when before starting the business, when I was given the leadership roles in college or school. So it just started back from then. So I think I had something maybe since childhood. I got it from my grandmother. And yeah. So it whenever there was a, like, say, in the schools and colleges, we have these events and the fairs and all of that. So whenever I was given any responsibility or a leadership role, I would display there and I would feel the power. Since then, it started from way back. That's just with the business.
So leadership gave you a kick, I guess.
Yeah, that does. Power does.
So power is a very, very strange thing, right? People consider power with always a negative notion.
Really?
Yeah, so on the broader spectrum, people say power is something that kicks away things from others. But in a narrow and polarizing sense, power actually gives you that sense of ownership. So that's what I reckon from your conversation.
Yeah, in fact, if you see, starting from very history,
Yeah.
earlier the power was with people who were educated. That is, the Brahmins had the highest power because of the knowledge. Then it came to the yug. I'm bad with the yugs here, but then been the yug where the people who had money. No, there was a yug where when people actually were powerful, like physical strength, they were considered more powerful. And this is the yug where you have money and you're powerful. So we have come from the yug. So yeah,
The power dynamics.
yeah, that's what
Is there, yeah. But I think the way money works is money somewhere democratizes the power, the shift of power.
Correct.
Right?
So now in this
We're-
person that
So that's the first time you felt power, that when you were given leadership roles.
back in when I was in school and I got so many opportunities that way. Yeah.
So opportunities filled with leadership always excites you.
Yes, it does.
That's cool. Yeah, but always in our life, right? So we have always grown up with a sense that whatever life gives you, be comfortable with it. Life's giving you lemons, make lemonade. But we never we never explore something beyond that, right? So in your journey as well. So it's not always money that fuels your journey, right? It's not money always. But tell me about it. What was that driving force to carve your own story and build yourself?
Okay, yeah. So the thing is that I mean, I've read it also a lot of places that it's actually not the money that gives you happiness, but money actually removes a lot of unhappiness.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Maybe I can add a few line here. Money is the one that de-stresses you. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. So, like, say example, when you have like, say, I am when I like, if I say that I buy a lot of houses or whatever, so I got it because of money. But when I see those products, like say I buy solitaires or all solitaires, then in shades and bags and all of that. So when I achieve them or when I have them in my own, so I actually think of the work I've done
Okay.
to get this.
It reminds you of the journey.
Yeah. So it reminds me that, okay, I have worked hard and and that's why I'm able to own this. So it's always that. In fact, surprisingly, the thing is that I actually don't just don't shop, like just go and buy. I don't do that. I give myself a target. You know, there are all the lucrative things with there, and I would see certain things, and I'll be like, okay, I'll give myself a target.
Yeah.
Like if I get this order, or if I get this client on my list, or if this happens, I'll buy this. So that's a target I give it to myself, and then later, once that actually happens, and then I shop it. So it's not like impulsive shopping. Never is an impulsive shopping.
That's good. So you're actually setting up a target for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a very nice way to put your gratifications to work, right? You
Yes.
fulfill that gratification only after you finish your work. That's a very nice way to put it. Beautifully put. And you were talking about yugs, and you were talking about history. So
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to ask this question. How do you balance your outside world with business, and how do you internalize it spiritually? How do you balance the external worldly affairs and internal spiritual affairs?
Okay, so it's easy for me to balance it because when you have the business, I think one thing that you get as a gift is time.
Okay.
Okay, so I divide my day like so. There are office hours and then there's non-office hours.
Okay.
In the non-office hours, I make sure I have time for myself with the loved ones, and also I am somebody who visits a lot of temples. So that's where I balance. I find a lot of peace in temples and gurdwaras. So there are days when I go to 3 temples in a day.
3 temples in a day. Why?
Yeah, so that happens most of the Thursdays.
Thursdays. Thursdays is auspicious to many deities, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Which is your favorite deity?
Durga Ma.
Okay, Durga Ma. Oh, Durga Ma, see, again, it also symbolizes
Sure.
a lot of things, right? Spirituality,
Yes.
power, the energy, the divine feminine. Yeah. So again, so how do you balance these two? So you're walking both worlds, the world of spirituality and the world of business, career. And again, the business world is filled with men mostly. So how do you tackle that?
I don't know if the world is full of men because in my office there are 70% of men. Yeah, it does. And we also have a lot of clients who are female. And if there's any woman entrepreneur who reaches out to me for any of their purchases or even for their creative work, I make sure that I onboard them, and they are more than happy to have me as their gifting partner or as a designing team. And then it just works mutually. So I do have, I would say, I mean, as I told you, 70% are workforce, but then when it comes to clients, at least I would have 50% women.
That's
So I don't see the world full of men. I don't see that.
So that's it, right? If you see a red car, you see the red car everywhere. Right? Yeah, how it is.
Could be that way.
Yeah. So I have
Wearing red, so there. It's like, okay, where's this red star?
okay. Talking about red, The conversation we were having backstage, you mentioned that you admire Priyanka Chopra as Smriti Irani.
Yes,
So I
lot.
have seen both of them speak online, and they are both boss ladies in their own way. So how do you take inspirations from them? What draws you to their persona and aura?
Look, I can just watch them and be inspired. It's like that. The way that they'll say it, the way they'll even say just one single word, and I'll be like, okay, there's a lot to learn from them. They are
So,
the walking power.
so you share their aura just by looking at them.
I don't share. I don't know if I can say that, but
Okay.
yeah, I turn to learn a lot and grab as much as I can from them. I mean, there's so many other women, but yes, I mean, we just that we were having conversation. Smriti Irani ji and Priyanka Chopra was one that were the two that I mentioned.
Yeah, I can say there are inspirations. I must.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, in political word, Smriti Irani is an ML business and yeah, just business area.
Yeah, Smriti Irani is a powerful woman. So I've seen her speak in a lot of stages.
Yeah,
She's very on point and very logical and very powerful.
logical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No.
Priyanka Chopra, funny as always, but to the point.
Yeah, at the same time, the multiple titles which Priyanka Chopra has. Yeah, like from an actress to singer to producer, then writer. Like she doing everything and not like, half-heartedly.
She's gone places. Coming to the next question. So we were talking a lot about success, inspirations, spirituality, but we didn't touch upon this one. When you started your business and when you were growing up in the spiritual space and the business space, what are the obstacles that you faced? What are the doubts that you had in your mind?
Okay, I am somebody who doesn't see anything as obstacles.
Okay.
For me, it's like if there's anything that happens, even goes wrong or whatever, I always see it as an opportunity. One of the examples that I can give you is clearly like pandemic. So when the businesses were shut and all of that, we were working from home, and I mean it's very surprising that we actually grew 3x after the pandemic.
Wow.
Because during the pandemic, I actually got time to like sit and like strategize like how I would go further from here onward. And yeah, so I think I was very happy that I got some time with myself, like more than the number usual number hours. I got a little more than that during the days, and we actually grew. That's after. So I was only into wholesale of corporate goods till then, and post that we started the exports because I realized that now India is gonna be a bigger market for a lot of importers to take things from India, and also that so yeah, that's when I started the exports business, and soon within a year we started manufacturing. So pandemic or anything like so that was actually a big obstacle for the whole not just our country but like the whole globe. But then I thought of it as in a different angle altogether, and it just worked.
So, world is filled with opportunities. COVID shut many businesses down, but it
Correct.
grew to it.
We do, and another thing is that we didn't have any salary cuts.
That
There was
the
no
pride,
firing.
yeah.
In fact, right after, I think this was all in May and April and May and March, and within June or July we were actually hiring. Yeah, so this is one thing, and I got one of the best employees in that case because many companies maybe there were more people looking for jobs, and they're still in the country.
That's beautiful. So it's been almost 5 years since the pandemic,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's a beautiful journey.
yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Babika. So your story kind of reminds me of um, resilience, uh, the reason for not giving up, even when the obstacles are put force on you. So you kind of take those obstacles and build yourself and grow into greater heights rather than sulking in the despair and always looking for hope. See, sometimes overconfidence is necessary. So unless and until we put on a mask of just confidence and just tell ourselves that fear is just one obstacle that we have to face. So, Bhavika, so we were talking about your journey and how you grew through all the obstacles that you faced, right from your college days, taking up leadership roles, getting accustomed to leading and taking up ownership. So, tell us for your audience, how did it all start? So, what was that trigger to start your own business and lead?
Okay. So, this started like really long back. Like I started investing in shares and all of that since I was in class 11, 12. So there was a blue chip newspaper I used to get in BM, and I just started reading about it, and I could see that there are shares that they are increasing like 8% or 10% on a daily basis. And from my parents, I heard that, like a 30%, annual thing is a good deal. So I was like, okay, there are shares which are like moving by 10%. So I was like, this is something which I can do without investing much.
Okay.
Because see, when you are, if you think of any other assets, you have to invest crores.
Correct.
But when it comes to shares, you can spend as low as, or invest, I should say, though not use the word spend, I should use the word invest. You can invest as low as just 100 rupees and get some penny stocks. Okay. So that's where I thought, like, let me just put whatever the money I have. We used to get money, typical North Indian family, we get money during Diwali and pujas.
Yeah.
So I had that. And I started very small. And then, so since 11th class, it started with shares and investments. And then during college, I was by the time I was in college, it was very clear that I'm going to start a business. And I didn't want to do something on retail because uh, I don't understand the concept of, waiting for the customers. So that was never a thought in my head. And so I just started something with virtual retail. Okay. So it started all from there.
Okay.
I belong to a family that a very affluent family, and they were like, do whatever. You can do whatever you like. In fact, they were like, you can just relax at home. Why do you have to even work?
This is very surprising. So when
My
you
parents gave me a lucrative offer that you can take a lump sum from us monthly,
wow,
shop, party,
okay,
do whatever, and just relax at home. And
oh yeah,
two people are like renting in the house. So the rest two, which is my mom and I, can actually relax and chill in the house. But then my idea was very different.
okay.
For me, pleasure is actually working. Yeah, I on the days where this national holidays also you will see me in office working. So my sense of pleasure is different.
So you're a hustler. So your parents gave a wonderful offer that you take a lump sum from us.
Yeah,
That
every month they gave me this offer. You take every month X amount, and then you can just do whatever, like shop, just party. This is the idea. I belong to Sindhi family.
Yeah.
So very cool they are with all of this.
So yeah, this brings me to the next question. So you mentioned that your family was very chill and they allowed you to do what you want, and they also gave you an offer to chill, and they were ready to take it. It's not the case in many families, right? There are families where women are
I'm
restricted.
very blessed when it comes to family. I would have very blessed when it comes to the people around me also. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are families where women are restricted, right?
Yeah.
So women are not allowed to do certain things. Most of the time, women get married and they stay housewives.
Very
Yeah.
interestingly, my family, or I think maybe all the Sindhis, but particularly my family, is actually opposite. So in my household, since I was born, my grandmother had a bigger say in the house. And same goes even now, my mom has a final say on a lot of things when it comes to big decisions, especially investments and all of that. And when it came started to me, my parents don't even ask me anything like, what are you doing? What is happening? Where are you going? There's no questions at all. And they don't like this literally, like, I mean, I don't want any other support from anybody anyway.
Anybody?
The only thing is, like, if you're not stopping me that itself, to all the women, I think, as long as they're not stopped or, restricted or hindered from anything, I think that's the biggest appeal.
No, that's one obstacle that most women or
In India.
entrepreneurs face, right? So you get the support and ecosystem from the family. From there, you grow out, right? So the mushroom grows in the family first, then it roots out elsewhere, right? So that's a very beautiful, and thanks to your family that you have sprouted out and are growing outside in the business space. So that's one piece of advice that you want to give the young entrepreneurs, young women entrepreneurs who are trying to make their way into the business space.
For sure, I would want to tell them, like, start, just do something, just do it. Don't stop. Don't think of at all about anything that might be an issue, or what would the world say, or what would happen otherwise, and all of that. Just keep all the negative thoughts like really away. And if you have an idea, and if you think it's a lucrative idea and it will work out into business, or if not even business, a passion, just go ahead and do it. Whether you are like a budding entrepreneur, or even if you are, I see so many women who are want to restart their career or get into a new business line or anything. Just do it. Yeah, don't stop.
Yeah, that's really motivating and inspiring. Cutting our way through passion and through a lot of hard work and resilience. people actually can make their mark. So thank you so much, Bhavika, for inspiring everybody. So let's do a quick rapid fire.
Sure.
Okay. So
This reminds me of Karan Johar's too.
mountains or beaches?
Oceans.
Oh, okay. Ocean.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Tea any day, anytime, and I think everybody knows.
Water or Coca-Cola?
Water any day. I don't know the last time I would have had Coca-Cola. Yeah.
And one last question. What's the best advice that you've received from someone?
Best to pata nahi. Worst was you should get into a job first and see how the ecosystem is and then start the business. I'm glad I didn't listen to that.
What's the one advice that you want to give your younger self?
Um, there's a story. If this is not going to be a rapid fire, and there's a story. So that there's a room. So that and it's just and there are some 3-4 balls are inside, and you have to throw one ball each time, so that the one particular ball just comes out of the room. Okay, and you get multiple shots. So you will have to put like some 1,000 times so that the ball comes out, right? So I think life is like that. So, but if I just miss one, I say, after getting the ball out, and I think that, wala stroke nahi hota, then it would have come bar. It's actually not the case. So each step actually leads to something. So I wouldn't say that wish this had happened or wish this not had happened, then I would have been here. So I would say that everything that happened in life actually framed or, made that was a destiny maybe. Yeah. So each step actually led me to this place.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right, what's the one quote that you tell yourself often?
The show must go on.
Oh.
No matter what happens, the show must go on.
The show must go on, and the show is on. So your biggest professional flex?
Excel.
Excel.
I can put literally all the data in everything in an Excel and use it to the best of productivity.
And people go take notes, use the formulas.
Hey.
And what's the one important thing in your life? Most important thing in your life?
I usually say 3 P's.
Okay.
Paisa, power and pyar.
Okay. Paisa, power, pyar.
Yeah, the 3 P's of life.
PQ, P square.
Yeah, P.
Yeah,
P.
whatever. Beautiful. If somebody writes an autobiography of you, what will be the title of it?
Okay. I think it should be One Phase, 100 titles.
One Phase, 100 titles.
Yeah, titles as in the accolades, not the. Yeah.
You already have a few.
After you are, yeah, I'm trying to get few more. So,
Right.
जब तक autobiography बनेगी, I think 100 हो जाएगा.
That-
Exaggeration, but yes.
Yeah, that's one way to be ambitious.
Yes.
It's always good. If not this profession, what would be your other profession? If not your business,
If
what do you do?
if I had not gone into business, I think either a government official.
Government official.
Yeah. Again, comes down to power.
Comes.
Or maybe a Bollywood director.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, Bhavika.
Yeah.
One last question. Given a chance to go back in time and do this all over again, would you do the same thing?
Yeah, I would do the same thing. Maybe maybe little more stronger, more bolder. Yeah, and yeah, something like that maybe.
Thank you so much, Bhavika. This was a wonderful conversation filled with small chatty stories to inspirations to discovering that you like chai the most and no for Coca-Cola.
A very big no for any rated drink.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bhavika. So this was Bhavika and her story of resilience, courage, and filled with opportunities and growth and teeny bits of funny elements that remind us of our own journeys in life. So if you like this conversation, do hit the like button and also subscribe to listen to more such conversations in the future. This is Sapno Ke Canvas and I'm Clinton and this is Bhavika and we are going to sign off.